on the bench, we have this iconic Pace CB-166. And if you know anything about CBs, you know exactly why this particular CB is famous. For those who don't know, this is the Bandit's CB. This is what he had in his Trans Am in Smokey and the Bandit. Obviously not this specific one, but it is this model. It was the Pace CB-166. And I actually own Snowman's radio that he had in his Kenworth in that same movie. So that's pretty cool. So over the years I've done a couple of these, but none of them have been this bad. So this one kind of receives, kind of transmits. It's a strange. Pace kind of did their own thing when it came to their radios. So this is a 23 channel, but it is not crystal synthesized. You can see there's a bunch of ICs here. We do have a relay, actually two relays. So yeah, the customer had sent this in along with that Cobra 50 XLR. I did a video on that not too long ago. But the owner had a capacitor kit from Klondike Mike, and oftentimes I'll use Klondike Mike kits as well, in hopes of bringing this thing back to life. A lot of these cores are just mangled. I don't know what happened. I don't know if somebody tried to, I don't know, maybe tune this somehow, but there is this paraffin wax inside most of these cores, and sometimes even heating them up, sometimes you just can't get them out. So it's problematic. But I'm going to try my best here with this radio, try to get it back up and running for them. So we're going to start off with this recap. And why do you start off with the recap? Because of this. This is why you start off with the recap whenever you have an old radio. Because oftentimes, something like this is going to be the root cause of many issues with the radio. Yeah, just, you know, after a while they just start to leak, and, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, this is why we start off with the recap. So, I'm going to go get the, I wasn't originally going to do a video on this, even though it is kind of an iconic radio, but I figured I'd just show why, you know, recapping is so important in these older radios. So these things are, I feel like people take advantage of the fact that this is a iconic radio, and they sell these things for ridiculous amounts of money, and they are not worth, you know, what people are selling them for. You know, I think the cheapest I found one was like $600, and it was probably in the same shape as this. There's a couple of them out there on eBay, supposedly signed by Burt Reynolds himself. You know, those are going for over $1,000. I forget exactly. It might be like $1,300 or $1,200, something like that. And they are just not worth that money. You know, I get it. I understand. You know, everyone wants to make a profit. But if this particular radio was not in Smokey and the Bandit, this would probably be, and I'm kind of pushing it, this would probably be a $60 radio, $50 radio. You know, maybe even, you know, on eBay, probably just go right up for auction, you know, and whatever it sells for, it sells for. But, you know, unfortunately, I think people take advantage of the fact that this is a iconic radio, and, you know, sell it for ridiculous amounts of money. Again, I can see, I can see both sides. I really can. But I think paying that amount of money for a radio that's not really a great performing radio is, I don't know. I guess it is what it is. But I do have that piece there was in the box when it was mailed. It might have just, looks like there's corrosion in there. It might have fallen off. But I do have that other piece that I can glue back on. But anyway, yeah, I'm recapping this in hopes it solves some of these issues that this radio is having. So let me get back at this recap, and we'll take it from there. Alright, stand by. Alright, well, I got this thing recapped, and it actually did help get this thing transmitting and receiving. It's stuck on one frequency. So it's an issue. And I noticed when I started playing around with the channel selector, it would jump in and out of frequency, depending on what channel you were on. So I decided to take this thing apart, and sure enough, this thing is corroded. So it's a big problem. And I think some of these... some of the contacts are completely gone on this. So yeah, this might be a tough find, but let me try cleaning this up and getting this thing back into the radio and see what happens. I'm going to try my best to clean this thing up. Alright, stand by. Alright, well, unfortunately, even with my best efforts, I could not get this radio to work properly. I think I stated before, the recapping did fix the no transmit and no receive, but it's just not it's not transmitting and receiving correctly. In fact, receive is very, very, very low. And TX, it's basically like pick your channel, pick your frequency. It changes every single time you key up. You turn the radio off, you turn the radio on, things just change. It's all over the map. So when I actually measured some of the voltages coming out of that collection of ICs, because again, this here is like it says down there, it's digital synthesized. This is not crystal. This is not a crystal synthesized 23 channel radio. So it's kind of an oddball. Pace always did their own thing, and unfortunately, with oddball radios like this, finding certain components is very, it can be challenging and tough and super expensive. But I couldn't find a couple of the ICs needed for this. Yeah, once I started taking some voltage measurements and taking some frequency measurements, they were all over the map. And I tried to find some, but unfortunately, without a parts radio, it's almost impossible to fix some of these radios. And, you're not going to find many Pace CB-166 parts radios, especially for the price these things are going for online. But I thought I would end this kind of basing it on the movie, and we can kind of compare both radios. So, like I stated before, I own Snowman's radio here, the Pace Sidetalk 1000m, and this is what was in the Kenworth, and you can kind of see that this is a way better radio in terms of features than Bandit's radio. And now, another thing to note is, if you guys are actually building one of those like Tribute Transams, Bandit Transams, and you're getting the correct antenna, and you're trying to get, and you got the police scanner, the Pace, I forget what model it is, but the Pace police scanner, make sure you're getting the 23 channel version of the CB-166, because that would be what would be the correct model in the movie. Because shortly after this, the CB-166 became a 40 channel radio. But in the movie, it's this one. It's the 23 channel. So don't get bamboozled into buying if you care, if you actually care, don't get bamboozled into buying the 40 channel radio for your tribute car. It's this one. It's the 23 channel. Yeah, because some people will do that. I noticed when I went online, some people are trying to sell the CB-166 40 channel as the Bandit CB radio, and it's not. So, you know, that's something to be aware of. I'm assuming if you're building a tribute car, I'm assuming you know that. You know, I'm sure you probably analyze the movie frame by frame and, you know, whatnot. But yeah, just a note. But when you look at Snowman's radio here, it's a Sidetalk, so it's a sideband radio. So you have AM upper sideband, lower sideband, 23 channel. But this has, in my opinion, this is a better radio than that CB-166. Again, Pace kind of did their own thing with this radio, but parts are a lot easier to find. In fact, I got this one going. When I got this one wasn't working, but I got this one going pretty easily. So, but yeah, this is a 23 channel, upper sideband, lower sideband, and it actually it sounds pretty good on air. So when you're looking at these two, you know, you definitely want this one. But when you actually look online, this one is way cheaper, way less expensive than the CB-166, simply because, you know, this was Bandit's radio, and that's the only reason why. But I don't know, if you ask me, I'd rather have Snowman's radio in my car or truck. Yeah, that's about it, guys. I just wanted to again, it's very rare when you have both radios together here, you know, from such an iconic movie. You know, brings back good memories to myself. I'm sure it probably does to you as well. But yeah, there you go. Both radios. Bandits and Snowman's. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching.